Hello, Christina's World Kitchen. I'm Christina Martinez-Williams, and I am going to make tonight some bagels. If you like bagels, you're going to love these high protein, low carb bagels. They are easy to make. They do take a little bit of time, but Zariah even likes to make them. She's just too busy playing right today to make them, but she actually likes to make them on her own. They're fun for her to make, and so they're easy enough that anyone can make. I'm doing half of my recipe, but this is 1.5 cups of shredded mozzarella cheese and half a tablespoon of butter. And I'm going to melt this in the microwave for, probably I'll start at a minute, but usually, well, if it's a full recipe, then you'll do 2 minutes. And we're gonna have these as a side bread of our dinner tonight. So I'm gonna start actually with 1.5 minutes. And then while that's baking, but melting, I also already melted 2 ounces of cream cheese. And with my I'm gonna use 1 cup of almond flour. This is unblanched almond flour. You can use blanched as well. So I have a cup of blanched almond flour. I'm going to mix in that half a tablespoon of baking powder. Half a tablespoon of baking powder, and then it's going to be ready to mix with my dough. So these are almond flour cheese bagels. You're going to love them. My girls absolutely love them. My husband loves them. You can make breakfast sandwiches out of them. You can make any type of sandwich out of them. You can eat them plain. You can put my chia seed strawberry jam on top of them. You can eat them with peanut butter. You can eat them with really anything. They're so good. You can eat them on the side of food. You can eat them with eggs inside. It's all so many options. All right, so I have this all mixed in here. I see a couple of clumps. Let me see if I can press those down. That was what I was wanting to avoid, were clumps of baking powder. And then we're going to mix our dough. This dough is kind of considered like a fathead dough. We're gonna add the cream cheese to it. And I usually use like a Pyrex to mix it, or to melt it and mix it. So it's almost mixed. I may put it back in the microwave. Let me see. It might be okay. I'm gonna keep it. So I'm gonna just start mixing the butter into it, as well as this cream cheese. So 2 ounces of cream cheese. Tell me where you're watching from. Make sure to give me hearts, thumbs up, share the video. I would love to know if you try these, what you think of them. And I want to know in the comments what you would put on them, or how you would use them. Would you use them as a bagel sandwich? Would you use them just on the side of food? Would you use them as a snack? Would you put jam on, my chia seed jam on them? Would you put like a chocolate spread? Maybe my chocolate spread on top would be really good too. Would you put cinnamon on top of yours? Would you eat them with berries? I mean, there's so many ways that you could eat these. You could even eat them with my cilantro lime guacamole. So many different ways. All right, so I have it all mixed. It's stuck to the bottoms, and that's okay because it's going to be connected to the almond flour in a second. This is a very sticky dough, but it still works very, very well. All right, let me show you. You can see how stringy it is because it's cheese. Now we're going to connect it to our almond flour. This is going to seem impossible for a little bit, but it works. So we have a cup of almond flour. Oh no, I forgot one ingredient. We're going to add that too. So let me move it around a little bit first and then add this ingredient. Normally, if you don't forget like I just did, you're gonna add your 1 beaten egg before you add your almond flour, but it will be okay to add it here too. I'm gonna mix it mostly in first so that it's a little bit easier to mix it when I add the egg. So if you can see, it's starting to connect, but there's still some, like a little amount of polvo I just went live in Spanish too, and I forgot the word. It's powder, flour on the bottom. All right, so let's see. Now I'm going to, it still has a little bit of extra on the side. So I want to keep pushing that into my dough. and connecting it with the cheese because I want it to be evenly distributed. And then I'm gonna add my egg and kind of work my egg in, even though I could have added it ahead of time before I added the almond flour and the baking powder. Sometimes blanched almond flour is a little bit easier to work with too, because it's, well, maybe not. I don't know if that's true or not. Tell me in the comments which you use, blanched or unblanched almond flour. This just happens to be what we found here in like huge canisters. There's not a right or a wrong. I think that blanched might feel a little less gritty to some people than unblanched. So if you have like a texture, it might be a little bit more dense. Okay, this is just about worked in. I'm gonna show you, I almost don't have anything left in here. So I'm gonna mix it just a little bit more, push it a little bit more in, and then I'm gonna add my egg. And again, I'm cutting my recipe in half. You wanna heat your oven, hello Renee, hello, hello. You wanna heat your oven to 375 degrees. So now I'm adding my 1 beaten egg that I already beat. And I have parchment paper ready. You can also use a silicone mat where we're gonna form our bagels. You can hear the girls, they're jumping on the trampoline. They have been so excited and grateful that while we've been on our trip this time, 2 of the places that we've stayed have had trampolines. We don't have a trampoline at home, so they are in heaven. And none of our neighbors, like direct neighbors, have trampolines. If you have a trampoline at home, put trampoline in the comments. I would love to know. It's such a great way to move your body. I was playing a game with them on it yesterday, and I was definitely winded when it was my turn to be the mummy trying to catch the girls. All right, I'm gonna keep mixing this. This is actually, I don't know, I may have to switch my order of when I normally add the egg. I might like it in this, but it might be a little bit more moist than what I'm used to because I normally get it in with the, before I add almond flour. But it might actually mix a little bit easier in. This dough is always a little bit hard on my hands because it's so thick and heavy. So it takes me a little bit of muscling it. Gives you good biceps to work on, biceps and triceps and forearms to work. You get to work out while you cook when you make this. All right, this is almost there. I'm gonna show you what it looks like in a moment. So you can see it's still like together and clumped. I just have to get it a little bit more connected to the egg so that it's not so much moisture left on the bottom of this bowl that I'm mixing it in. I see like bits of egg still on the bottom here that I want to make sure gets connected into the dough. Smells really good already. I remember when I used to not eat this way, I used to go to Panera and get bagels, and I either would get one of 2 bagels. I would either get the bagels that had cheese on top, or I would get the cinnamon like French toast bagel. And you could really turn this into that if you wanted to. Even though it's cheesy, it would be like cinnamon toast with cheesiness, but it would be really good that way too. If you like bagels, put bagels in the comments. It is a workout, Maureen. Hi. Good to see you. All right. It is ready. I do think it is a little bit better to put it in, the egg to put in prior to the almond flour. Even though I think it might have been easier to get it mixed in, it's a little bit better. I'm gonna get a little bit of water. I'm gonna rinse my hands. This is a very sticky dough, so expect that it will stick on your hands. That's okay. It will stick. And it's a little bit easier if you get a little bit of water to stick your fingers in. I'm gonna move you guys around a little bit. And I'm gonna put this, I have my parchment paper on top of a baking sheet. And I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna get my fingertips in some water so that I can grab the dough without it sticking quite as much. and I'm gonna make a ball out of it. And then I'm going to shape it into like a snake or like a tube. And then I'm going to make it into a circle from that. It does expand, it does like get bigger. And so you wanna give it, like make a good hole so that it doesn't go all the way in and create just a flat pancake looking thing. So you can make it connect, and it's gonna expand to maybe a little bit, twice the size almost, and put it onto your sheet. And then once it's on your sheet, I can't show you just yet because my hands now are very sticky, but you can separate out the hole a little bit more so that you can have it. I'll do one right in front of me so that you can see it better. And then you're gonna put it in the oven, 375 degrees, for 10 to 15 minutes. You want it to be golden, and you may need to flip it so that like after it's cooked on one side, after 10 minutes, flip it so that the other side can get golden too. Obviously don't burn it, but you do want golden versus not golden, just a slightly golden. So you want to get these long tube, kind of like a long pretzel stick, and then you're gonna connect it. I think you can see, yes, okay. And then you're gonna push it, you can like flatten it a little bit, and then connect and push it down, and then just make your hole a little bit more pronounced. And now you've got your bagel. Here they are. They're so good. The girls, like everyone kind of fights for it. We make sure we are all eating. We've divvied it up exactly because everyone wants one and more. And so we always make sure that we're equally dividing them because everyone wants it. That's it, you guys. This is bagels, almond flour cheese bagels, and they are so good, and you can eat them in so many ways. So I would love to know in the comments, how are you going to eat them? What would you add to them? Would you use them as a sandwich, a breakfast sandwich, a regular sandwich? Would you use them with jam on top, my strawberry chia seed jam? Would you use them with some chocolate chips or my chocolate on top? Or would you eat them with, just like on the side with bacon and eggs? Would you use it with some peanut butter or almond butter on the top? Or cut it open? They're not so much that you cut them open, and they already have cream cheese, so you could put cream cheese on them, but I don't think it's really necessary. So here's another one. I'm gonna put it a little apart from the other one because it does separate and it does expand. It does expand this way and up a little bit too. Rises a little bit. That is it. That is it. So easy. It does take time, just like it would take time to make anything that's breadish, but you're gonna love them. Make sure you tell me how you like them once you make them and how you would use them so many ways. Okay, have a wonderful day from my house, well, from my friend's house, Rachel, to your kitchen, global flavors and healthy plates from around the world.